Z Business Plus makes managing fuel easy. It's fee-free with choice benefits like 8 cents off every litre, every day, everywhere you need us. Sign up today for the 2022 CanStar Blue Best Small Business Fuel Card. Z is for New Zealand. T's and C's apply.
Racing fifth in Max Verstappen's car. The junior Red Bull driver, who's also racing Formula 2 this weekend, finished just 2/10 off teammate Sergio Perez. Verstappen, who blitzed the second practice, says Lawson did a very good job in the first practice. He was very calm, very steady. They seem like nice compliments. Brian Kelly, of course, is our motorsport expert. How significant is this for Liam Lawson, BK?
Oh, it's very significant for Liam. Number one, he's in the world champion's car and in the world championship team as well. And for him to do what he did, there were 8 rookie drivers out there on the track for that first practice session, and there were some very, very well-known drivers. Pato O'Ward was testing with McLaren out of IndyCars, and for Liam to do what he did, being 5th fastest, in fact, in the first part of the session, he actually went out in the Red Bull with hard tyres on, and he was the 3rd quickest, and he improved his time once they put the softer tyres on. So those sessions, the benefit is that they're testing the cars, they're trying them different runs on different compound tyres, hards and soft, and then Liam said prior to getting in the car, he actually was quite nervous, but he has quite a good relationship with Verstappen. A couple of years ago, he actually lent him his racing shoes when Max turned up at the track in Monaco and didn't have his shoes. So they've got a good relationship, and for Liam to do what he did in front of the team bosses was very, very impressive.
So, I mean, they don't just put any old mug in these cars, do they? They're multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment. So is this a feather in the cap, even being asked to do this?
Well, I mean, that's his role, and one of the rules with Formula One this year and last year was the fact that at a certain amount of Grand Prix, whether it's 1 or 2 Grand Prix, you have to actually use development drivers in FP1, Free Practice 1. And so Liam's already done 2 stints with AlphaTauri and impressed there again, being the fastest of the rookies on the track. And then to do what he's done in this one, the Red Bull had to do it with Max's car, but to select Liam out of the development drivers from the team, and there's a number of development drivers in all of the teams, but Liam is with the top team, Red Bull, which is great. So, yeah, it is very significant and a feather in his cap, really.
BK, if I came to Tauranga to visit you and you said, "Oh, Piney, you can borrow my car just to get out to the airport," or whatever it was, I could jump in your car and drive it. This is very different, isn't it? How much adjustment would have had to be made for Liam Lawson to drive Max Verstappen's car?
No doubt he would have had I was thinking about that, he would have had his own seat, actually. I mean, he's been fitted for a seat for Red Bull. In fact, at the Goodwood Festival of Speed this year, he drove a Red Bull and he had a seat fitting for it. So he would have had his own seat. They would have put that seat, the team would have put the seat in the car. But apart from that, that's the only thing they would have done. It's a Formula One car. They're all reasonably standard with just little tweaks here and there to make them aerodynamically quick. And it's up to the driver to get the most out of the car. So for Liam to be the quickest of those drivers out there and come away with, in fact, the only mistake he made, he actually came into pit lane and missed the pit box. He overshot it. And he actually said, he apologised and said, actually, I'm not used to the pit box being up where it was. Normally, when he's racing in Formula 2, he's a little way down the track. So that was the only mistake he made. So, just mistake-free, get the car back for Max to drive in the second practice session, which he did successfully, was great.
So just crystal ball gaze a bit for us here, BK. What is the path to a Formula One drive for Liam Lawson?
Well, he's done all he can this year now to impress the team. I think they would have liked him to have probably had better results in Formula 2, which is his main job. He's had a couple of podiums there. He'll start on the front row for the sprint race tonight, but he's not leading. He's only 7th in the championship. They like race winners. They like championship winners in Formula 1 teams. So next year they're sending him off to race in Super Formula in Japan to get some better results. Number one, that's the main thing. They want to see some good results. But number two, there's a little bit of money involved with Formula 1, and most drivers that get there, some of them come from very, very wealthy fathers and so on, so they bring a lot of money to the team. Probably not quite as much as you need to going to Red Bull, but he's done all he can now. It's just a matter of his team management negotiating with the team from Red Bull to see what happens at the end of next year.
Good man, BK. Thanks so much for wrapping some context around that for us. It's always good to get your expertise and analysis. So just repeating that news, Liam Lawson, had a chance to drive Max Verstappen's car at the first practice session at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Did really well. Fifth fastest in that first practice session. Verstappen got in his car and then blitzed everybody else on the second practice, and then said Lawson did a really good job. So that's a feather in the cap for Liam Lawson. We'll watch with interest as he continues his Formula 2 racing and what the future might hold for him.